Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's third video doing GavsWeatherVids Sunday Round-Up for today's third video. So as always on a Sunday, we've got your eclectic mix of this and that, with things like solar activity, sea surface temperature, anomalies, QBO, AO, NAO, and the weather next week, 10 days and beyond as well. So sit back, relax and enjoy. And I shall talk you through our Sunday Roundup in a moment. Just to say that the first video release was our 7 AM upload. We've also released the third autumn update. It's a bit of a solar special, that one, so check out today's two other videos if you'd like to do that. Going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock tonight, so I shall see you live at 6. It's only live stream, so you've got to do some long range, and that will be coming up, as I say, from 6 PM. Please like, share, subscribe on all the videos. Thanks for doing that. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Right, let's turn off webcam then, and we'll have a look, first of all, at solar activity. So this is how the solar disk is looking on our side of this today from solarham.net. We have got some sunspot regions here in the southeastern limb. However, solar activity is at very low levels, is expected to remain at low levels for the next 3 days. Here's the GavsWeatherVids solar activity tracker updated to today by a good friend, James Ackrill. Thank you so much to James for updating this. So here we go. Then the orange line is depicting each individual day's worth of sunspot activity. You can see that we are having consistent sunspot activity, although we did have a spot this day just there, actually, around a week or so ago. But we're having consistent sunspot activity, but at a low level of it at the moment. So the orange line is hovering around here, which, as I say, is a low level of sunspot activity, really, especially considering that we're now over 18 months into the solar cycle. So the trend lines are the thick green and the thick red lines. They're not really moving upwards a great deal, I suppose, from where we was back in, like, true solar minute. They have lifted up somewhat, but really they're still at quite a low level. We're still at quite a low level with the trends and also with the daily sunspots as well. We're really waiting for this this solar cycle number 25 to properly kick off now and start moving towards the solar maximum. So maximum isn't expected until 2025 though, so we've got a little while to go before we get to solar maximum for this solar cycle. But it shouldn't be too much longer now before we start seeing activity really lifting up. Albeit, I think it will be quite a weak solar cycle. I think this will be like on a par with solar cycle number 24, which was also a very weak solar cycle. Right, thanks to James for sending through the tracker. Let's have a look and see who I am today then. So it's Gav Worf today from Star Trek. I'm not really a Star Trek follower. I'm more of a Star Wars follower, but I'm told that this is Commander Worf. Thank you, Rich, for turning me into Commander Worf today. Right, so let's have a look at the spotless days and the current spotless stretch. So current spotless stretch is 0 days, as we did have a sunspot yesterday. For 2021 so far, we've had 46 days without sunspots, which is 26% of the year. That percentage is gradually coming down as we're moving into the year. It's still quite a high percentage though, given that this is like the second year of the solar cycle. 2020, of course, first year of the solar cycle, came out with 57% of the year without any sunspots. And 2019 was the solar minimum year, and that came out with 77% of the year without sunspots. It's all comparable to the last solar cycle. So number 24 begins in 2008. That's like solar minimum year, 73% of that year without sunspots. 2009 had 71% without sunspots, and then 2010, which was like the second year of solar cycle 24, that had 14% of the year without sunspots. So this year very comparable to like 2010 actually, and probably for this point of the year, it's probably actually a little bit quieter on the sun compared to 2010, although we have still got 6 months to go, and that percentage is very gradually coming down. I won't be all that surprised if this percentage for 2021 is actually very close to 2010 in the end, but we'll see how things look later on in the year, of course. Thank you to James and also to Rich for sending through the data. Right, we'll have a look at the oceans then. Miss how the oceans looking. We did last week's Sunday Round-Up. Got our 3 areas of interest. We've got the ENSO region just here. We've got the Northern Pacific through here. And then we've got the North Atlantic over there. They are our 3 areas of interest. That's how the oceans were looking when we did last week's Sunday Round-Up. Let's have a look at the very latest then. So in terms of the ENSO region, there hasn't been much change, to be honest, over the past week. This is up to the 25th of June, by the way. Hasn't been much change in the ENSO region. We remain at ENSO neutral, probably just on the warm side of ENSO neutral, but we're very much, at ENSO neutral conditions here, neither in an El Nino or a La Nina type state. Going northwards into the Northern Pacific, let's see how the North Pacific was looking last week. That's where we're looking at now. So that's how it looked last week. So it looks this week. Very little change there either. Generally becoming a little bit warmer in this northeastern part of the Pacific Ocean, but we still have this cold and average area sea surface temperature anomalies off the coast of California and the west coast of America. And then in the North Atlantic, again, this is how the North Atlantic was looking when we did last week's Sunday Round-Up. This is how it looks this week. Not much change there either. Just generally a very warm Atlantic Ocean. The tropical Atlantic is getting warmer. That looks well primed, as does the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. Looks well primed for another big tropical storm / hurricane season. We have got an area, a cold and average area of sea surface temperature anomalies to the west of Ireland, and then the SST anomalies get very warm to the south of Greenland and towards Newfoundland as well. So a very warm Atlantic Ocean at the moment, and yeah, so I think we can say that we have warmed it up actually over the past week in the North Atlantic, particularly the northern part of the North Atlantic has warmed up a lot over the past week, but also the tropics as well. Tropics looking, as I say, very primed for another big hurricane season, I think. Right, this is how the Southern Oscillation Index is looking. Remember, the SOI is just an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state, doesn't drive anything in its own terms, just tells us what the atmosphere is doing. When the SOI is negative, the atmospheric state would be reflective of El Nino. When the SOI is positive, atmospheric state would be reflective of La Nina. If we come down to, so it's measuring air pressures between Tahiti and Darwin. These are the 2 columns here for barometric pressure for Tahiti and for Darwin, and then this column here is like the overall SOI number. So you can see that, for example, on the 20th of June, we're quite negative with the SOI, down to minus 16. 21st of June, we're down to minus 13. Probably negative numbers reflective of El Nino, but more recent days have tended to be a little bit more positive. 24th of June comes out at plus 14, 25th of June comes out at plus 10, 26th of June comes out at plus 5. So that's an atmospheric state that's more reflective of La Nina, and then the latest day, 27th of June, is negative again at minus 5.62, more reflective of El Nino. So we're swinging between La Nina and El Nino type atmospheric state, exactly as you expect to do at ENSO neutral. Really, neither El Nino or La Nina can get an ascendancy, can get control of the pattern, and so overall we're swinging between both states, and ENSO neutral continues. CFSV2 is forecasting that we may go into a weak La Nina towards the end of the year, though. So with this, the temperature anomalies on the side, dates and monthly periods on the bottom. All important number is half a degree below average for La Nina, 0.5 below average, or for El Nino, 0.5 above average. Have to reach that half a degree above or below over 5 tri-monthly periods to get these events designated. Where we are right now is just here, bang on ENSO neutral. Really, the black dash line, which is the ensemble mean, is dipping back in towards weak La Nina territory, though, as we come into the end of the summer and into the autumn. Just going a little bit under that half a degree below average threshold. So, yeah, we may go back into a weak La Nina, but it looks a bit inconclusive, doesn't it? There is a lot of scatter in there. We have got many ensemble members that are keeping things at ENSO neutral. Some of these are going down into proper La Nina type territory. So I don't think the CFS, anyway, has really got a handle on where we go, actually, through the second half of this year. We'll be doing our June ENSO update in a day or so's time, by the way, so look out for that. Right, QBO next. So this is from NASA, of course. So this is showing QBO events going back to 2018. See the last proper QBO event that we had almost disappearing off the map now. The last easterly QBO from 2017-18, that's virtually gone. This is the long westerly QBO that we have from 2018-2019 right the way through to 2020-2021. We nearly went into an easterly QBO here, but it failed and got stuck in the atmosphere, and then the westerly QBO sort of strengthened and came back. However, the easterly QBO never truly went away. It's been lurking in the stratosphere and is now descending from the stratosphere into the troposphere. We are in an easterly QBO now, I think. I would expect to get that confirmed when we get the QBO number from NOAA in a few days' time at the beginning of July. I think it'll be negative for June. It'll be like first negative number for June, and so yeah, you can see like a smooth transition here going on from the stratosphere into the troposphere. Remember, 30 HPA is the troposphere, or the top level of the troposphere. 30 to 50 HPA is where we've got the troposphere really. So yeah, you can see that the ECQO is descending from the stratosphere to the troposphere. It's doing so in quite a smooth fashion as well. So this looks like you know, a very smooth transition into the easterly QBO, unlike what we had here, where the easterly QBO never really descended from the stratosphere to the troposphere. So yes, it definitely looks as though the easterly QBO has started, and the rest of the year should see this easterly QBO phase, you know, powering up and getting ever stronger. If you zoom in, you can see like the transition from the stratosphere down to the troposphere a little bit better. So I think the ECQBO has begun, and I would expect to see it strengthening over the coming months. That'll be important when we get into winter. Right, Arctic oscillation next is how the AO observed and forecast chart is looking. So remember, the Arctic oscillation, as with all of these indexes really, QBO, SOI, you know, they are all just indexes that reflect the atmospheric state. They don't drive anything in their own terms. They're just telling us what the atmosphere is doing. So when the AO is positive, got low pressure over the Arctic, and when the AO is negative, got high pressure blocking over the Arctic. So the current position with the AO is that we are neutral to weakly positive. The GFS ensembles are keeping the AO at neutral to weakly positive for the next few days. And then beyond that, possibly into early July, possibly just going a little bit more towards the negative side, maybe. So neutral, going from like neutral to weakly positive to neutral to weakly negative, but not convincingly so. You wouldn't look at that and say there's necessarily a strong northern blocking signal emerging. You know, on both sides, really, weakly positive and weakly negative. It's not that far from like neutral, really. NAO is same idea, so this time we're measuring air pressures between Iceland and the Azores. So when the NAO is positive, you know, you've got low pressure around the Azores, got low pressure around Iceland, high pressure through the Azores. Sorry, when the NAO is negative, you've got high pressure around Iceland and low pressure around the Azores. So essentially the AO and NAO negative will be a signal, particularly in winter, but also sometimes in summer for cooler, colder, wetter conditions. Where we are right now with the NAO is neutral to weakly positive. GFS ensembles are forecasting we're likely to stay neutral to weakly positive through the next few days. And then into early July, going neutral to weakly negative through the first week or so of July. A little bit more convincingly so than the AO, actually. Most of these ensemble members are dropping down into negative territory, albeit not strongly negative, but definite drop down there through the first week to 10 days or so of July into negative territory. So it looks like both indexes could be on the move towards more negativity. And if that's the case, then that might be setting up something a little bit cooler and wetter, perhaps through the early part of July. We'll have to see about that. Right, as used to forecasting, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. So red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for London. So we're actually a little bit above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment, although it's not necessarily that warm because we're bringing cloud and rain and thundery showers up from France, and we'll do so over the next few days. So although the upper air temperatures are quite warm down in the south of the country, we don't necessarily realise that potential. We do further north, where we will have plenty of sunshine, though. So a little bit warmer than average with the upper air temperatures at the moment. They're going to drop back, though, later on in the week, back towards average. As we go through the first week to 10 days or so of July, first half of July, it looks like we're going to go a little bit warmer than average, but there is quite a lot of scatter in there. So we've got these warm ensemble members up here, including today's GFS operational run, which does turn quite hot. You'll see the chart in a moment in the extended range, but we can't ignore these cooler members just here either, of course. So a bit of a mixed bag, but it looks like the early part of July probably starts to warm up. What we can say, though, is that there's going to be a lot of precipitation around over the next few days. So for the south, anyway, the north is going to be dry and warm and sunny, but for the south, it's a little bit of a deluge coming up with lots of heavy rain and potentially some thunder thrown in as well. And then we go through into July, and it looks like it's going to be pretty mixed then as well, with a lot of those ensemble members. So quite a mixed outlook, really, especially for the south. Temperature anomalies from the 27th of June to the 5th of July are going to be warmer than average, especially so in the northern half of the country. Precipitation anomalies from the 27th of June to the 5th of July are going to be drier than average in most central and northern and western area, but a little bit wetter than average in the south and southwest. So you see very clearly a north-south split with a precipitation anomaly, very wet conditions at times in the south, but really dry up in the north. Today's latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we have got this area of low pressure across the northern parts of France. That's going to be threatening these heavy showers and longer spells of rain and downpours into the southern part of the country. At the same time, a ridge of high pressure building in from the Atlantic into the northern half of the country will keep northern areas mainly dry and quite warm. Right, let's go through the charts then. So this is how the UK Met is looking from weather outlook for Wednesday. Still with this trough in the south and east. This trough low pressure in the south and east. High pressure though ridging in to the north and the west. By the time we go through to Thursday and to Friday, that trough gets out of the way, moves over towards Germany. High pressure takes over to the north of the country. That will bring a lot of dry weather with it into next weekend. So Saturday looking mainly dry and quite warm with this ridge of high pressure continuing to our east, but low pressure is starting to move closer to us from the Atlantic. And by the time we get through to a week out, which is Sunday next week, looks like this low pressure is beginning to start breaking through, probably bringing some rain into more western areas as well. So get 2 or 3 drier, warmer days later next week, even in the south. The whole of next week will be warm, most of the north, but by next weekend, probably starting to turn more unsettled, especially across more western areas. Right, this is how the GFS midnight run looks. So again, we've got this trough here to our south and east on Wednesday. We'll bring further showers along with spells of rain into the southeast. Same time, high pressure is building to the north and to the west. Thursday and Friday, we'll see this high pressure taking over to the north. The trough gets out of the way, goes to Germany. There's still be some showers around at the end of the week, but I think the emphasis does shift to drier, warmer conditions on Thursday and Friday. That carries on into Saturday as well. Through weekend, actually, this area of low pressure is kept at bay by the ridge, so this low does not come in over the weekend, and so up towards day 10, this is the Monday the 5th of July, up to then we're still under the ridge of high pressure with a lot of dry and warm weather. Remember, ridge strengthens from the Azores as we get to day 10. That brings increasingly hot temperatures up from the south and dry, sunny conditions as well. So the GFS midnight run, the latest run, really looking very warm to hot by day 10. And that carries on into the extended range. So this big ridge we get building from the Azores up Scandinavia. That's bringing dry and hot conditions here as we go further on into July. So after yesterday's swing to cooler, wetter weather into July, or more unsettled weather anyway, cooler weather. Today, the GFS has swung back to hotter, drier weather again, and that hot, dry weather with that big ridge of high pressure carries on up to the 13th of July. Massive ridge from the Azores all the way up to Scandinavia. That's sort of a classic summer type pattern. Overhead temperatures do look hot. We've got plus 15 Celsius isotherm through the country there, so that will be lifting temperatures into the 30s Celsius. The only thing we can say with that, though, if we come back to the graph, is that that idea is not an outlier, but it's right at the very top range of the ensemble members. So, I mean, there are other ones that are doing the same thing, I suppose. Probably a few of them, but it is right at the very warmest end of the range. That's not to say it won't happen, but it doesn't look like that idea has a huge amount of support. But then again, the ensemble miniature white line is warmer than average as we're going through the first half of July. So we may we may see the Azores high really strengthening and powering up and turning us hot. Let's see how the GM is looking. So that again with this trough low pressure to our south and east on Wednesday. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please can you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Drop a comment after you watch the video and let us know what you think. Right, so to Thursday and to Friday, again, we're still trying to get rid of this trough, actually, with the GM in the east. So into Friday, east areas have got a risk of showers here. Meanwhile, further north, high pressure is blocking, keeping northwest areas mainly dry. The area of low pressure in the Atlantic is being held at bay. But look at this, getting to next weekend, and unlike what the GFS does, powers up the Azores high, the GM says no to that idea and starts to bring low pressure in off the Atlantic. So as we move up towards day 10, the GM is looking quite mixed with a westerly flow, so not particularly warm, and with at least showers, possibly even some longer spells of rain. And then the ECMWF looks like that. So once again, we've got this trough to our south and east on Wednesday, bringing some heavy showers. Into Thursday and Friday, the high pressure is blocking to the north, keeping the area of low pressure at bay in the Atlantic, probably turning drier and warmer even in the south at the end of the week. But then again, next weekend, look at this, the low pressure starts to move in off the Atlantic, no ridge from the Azores high. Instead, we start to bring low pressure in off the Atlantic, turning increasingly unsettled and cooler as well, and that carries on up to day 10. Actually, out of all models, the ECM is the most unsettled today, with quite a significant area of low pressure over top of the country around the 6th and the 7th of July, being showers, if not longer spells of rain, up to day 10. So we'll see. It remains such a confused picture, doesn't it? With the GFS wanting to turn us hot with that big ridge from the Azores, Scandinavia, and the ECM, on the other hand, though, looking cool and quite wet, actually, by the time we get to days 8, 9, and 10. There's been so much swinging and so many twists and turns about this early July period, and it's still not really resolved, even though we're just a few days away from the start of July. Right, this is a precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Tvecho.com. Of course, this is going to be very unsettled with plenty of rain across England and Wales. Northern and west areas will be drier, however, but for England and Wales, especially the further south and east you go, there's going to be a lot of rain coming up over the next few days, either with showers, maybe at times in thunderstorms, and even some longer spells of rain as well. And then as we move up towards next weekend, of course, we start to bring the wet weather in off the Atlantic. So showers, longer spells of rain beginning to sweep northwards and eastwards with low pressure heading in from off the Atlantic Ocean up to day 10. Right, can't show you the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, but we'll show those, because they're not updated yet, we'll show, as I'm recording the video at 10:30 on Sunday morning, so we'll show you those in our live stream later, and we'll show you CFS V2 weeklies in our live stream later. That'll be coming up from 6 o'clock. We can show you finally, though, CFS V2 forecast for July at 700 millibar height anomaly. This outlooks today. And if this is right, we're in for a hot July, because we've got high pressure here sitting over and to the north and northeast of the country. So a big ridge of high pressure again across northern Europe, bringing in the wind from the east across northern parts of Europe. Of course, easterlies in July are going to be hot. They'll be coming in off the continent. Easterlies in January will be very cold, but easterlies in July will be hot. So the temperature anomaly is significantly warmer than average now, not just the UK, but through most parts of northern Europe, with those red colours there on the temperature scale, that's going to like 2 degrees above average, 2 to 3 degrees above average for some places. And the precipitation anomaly, no particular signal, but of course with high pressure in control of the weather across northern Europe and the UK, you'd expect a pretty dry month as well. So a hot and dry July being forecast from CFSV2. And it is quite consistent about this idea, actually. So you know, it's all to be revealed, it's all to play for, it all remains to be seen. Certainly, the GFS has shifted towards a hotter, drier first half to July again this morning, but the ECM and the GEM are, particularly the ECM though, looking much cooler and also much wetter with low pressure coming in by next weekend. So it all remains to be seen, and we'll keep you updated, but it's going to be fascinating to see how it works out. July definitely on a knife edge. Right, if you enjoy a Sunday Round-Up, please go and use the smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends and family and put out to subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, we're done for this week's Sunday Roundup then. We'll do it all over again next Sunday. Of course, we're going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock. We'll show you some long range on the live stream. CFSV2 Special coming up from 6 o'clock. We'll run it all the way to the winter. For this week's Sunday Roundup, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.